Welcome to another episode of Sprinkle Happiness. I am so excited you're back. And today's conversation is so personal to me. And I'm sure you know her. She coached me through the German Championship in 22. And she showed me something that stayed with me all these years. Weightlifting isn't just physical. It is a mental game. Michaela Breeze. Gosh, I'm so privileged to have you here.
Well, thank you so much. No, it's an absolute pleasure, and to reconnect and to see where you're at as well, which has been lovely to have a good catch up.
Gosh, it was such an amazing experience to work with you, and your camps, your coaching styles have really taken my game to the next level. I remember going to one of your camps, and when I got back, I just could lift more. Even though I did not get stronger, I could lift more. And it was,
but I think it was the confidence at which you moved as well. That was the main thing. And doing so confidently makes the whole movement safer as well. So it was lovely to see.
Congratulations on your new book, Beyond the Barbell. Everybody, if you're a CrossFitter, if you're a weightlifter, or if you're not lifting any weights, this is going to take your mindset to the next level. I was blown away by the value you gave in this book, Michaela. And I have gained a totally different levels of understanding of your journey. Your mental toughness blew me away. At the Beijing Olympics in 2008, you competed with a broken back. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's a book that's been on my mind to put together. And whilst I have another book that I did probably a good decade ago now, I didn't feel like I'd really addressed the mental side of this sport. And there is so much more to weightlifting than just the physical, as you said. I spend a lot of time coaching the technical, but the area that is often neglected is the mindset. So for the last 5 or 6 years, I've been popping some ideas onto my notes on my phone. And, more and more people that I'm coaching, particularly online, especially through COVID and those challenging times, raised a whole load of questions for me that I didn't feel were being answered, hence why I put the book together. But my experience at the Beijing Olympics was one that I wouldn't say I want to forget. It was definitely one of the lows in my career, probably the biggest low.
Really?
And I know, I get it. You need the lows to appreciate when the highs are. But this really was a dark time mentally for me. I had a back injury, a bilateral pars defect, 3 compressed discs in my lower back. And that was back in 1999 or 2000 that was diagnosed. And at the time then, I had to take about 18 months out of the sport. And at the time, it was so hard, it was so challenging. But I look back and I think, wow, without that, I would never have become the lifter that I did. That's because I had to go back to basics. I had to relearn movement patterns to be safe. And unfortunately, for the Beijing Olympics in 2008, the top 10 lifters in the world got selected. And at the time, I failed. I was just outside and I backed off my training, wasn't pushing myself, didn't have the focus. I lost that focus. And then it was really close to the games, maybe 4 to 6 weeks out from the games, I received a phone call to say, you're in. And at that point, I'll be honest, I panicked. And the first thing I did was grab my kit bag, get straight in the car and go to the gym. And long story short, I pushed too hard too soon without spending a few sensible sessions progressively loading. And my back injury flared up. So about a month out from Beijing, I was a mess. I managed somehow to pass the fitness test. It was a good job. The fitness tests were pretty pathetic. Bend down, touch your toes. Could I do it? No. But I pushed through pain.
You were there. But you were there, you participated, you showed.
Went out and competed with a broken back. So not much fun. Learned more about myself, though, competing in that state than I ever would have done if I was fit.
You've written in your book that at the time it felt like an embarrassment. Today, you said you wouldn't change anything. You said, I needed to break my back to take me a step backward. So in order for me to move forward, that really stayed with me. That sometimes we have to just take a step back rearrange, reset, and reinvent ourselves, push a bit stronger and get out of it stronger.
Otherwise, we just drift and we do the same thing. And if you do the same thing day in, day out, you're going to get the same results. But it wasn't a desirable outcome. I certainly didn't want to break my back. I didn't want the injury to reoccur. But it certainly shook me up to make change. And it was thanks to that change that I further that mental strength and that mental capacity. And I learned way more about my body and how far it really is possible to push the mind when you're in a bad place.
Yes. And you go really deep into resilience in your book. And that's how you built resilience. And you keep reminding about that resilience isn't about winning. It's about not walking away.
It's easy to walk away, isn't it? It's easy to quit. It's easy to give up. And it takes, I guess, someone really tough to
creepy. And you asked a really good question. You said, how would you want to be a friend with somebody that talked to you the same way you're talking to yourself? I'm like, gosh, all these little negative self-talks. I'm not good enough and I'm not strong enough and I'm too old. And you've been called too skinny when you were little, too tall and too skinny for the sport.
And if you listen to those voices and that negativity, what does it do? It just beats you up. It puts you down. And really, the only person that's going to build you up is yourself. And it's about you training that internal voice to say, I am good enough. I can do this. I will do this. But also, to shut it down when it starts chirping up and giving you the negativity, because that little voice in your head, you are probably your biggest own critic. And accept those voices. Yeah, understand they're there. Recognize them.
Yes.
And say, okay.
Change it into positive, just like you say.
Yeah, totally. And I think, just training that voice to, at times, be kind to yourself. Also, at times, to give you that kick up the backside to push a bit harder or to stop complaining and get on with things. But it's about recognizing when that voice is almost out of control and it comes under. If you let that voice take control, then I guess that's when we often see the negativity and the downward spiral and the depression, I guess.
Yeah. It can backfire. It can bring you to a downward spiral. But gosh, Michaela, one of the most exciting experiences of my life that you coached me through was the World Championship in 22. That was a huge milestone, a dream come true for me. And what made the experience even more exciting was you competing at the same time. And
yeah, that was a crazy one.
I didn't realize at the time. I knew everybody knew you in the weightlifting world, but I did not know until I got there that I was having a really celebrity coach. Everybody wanted to have a picture with you. Your energy, everybody was like, it's Michaela. Everybody wanted to be near you and talk to you.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was great fun, and it was for me a bit of motivation to get back to some kind of level of fitness. And it was quite a humbling experience, to be honest, going to the US and yeah, just being in that environment. I guess around a lot of people who maybe had found the sport a little bit later and hadn't maybe competed through the senior ranks like I had, and who recognised me maybe on social media. But yeah, it was quite a humbling experience. A lot of photos. Do you remember the one when somebody came and woke me up? I was dozing by the swimming pool. It was after we competed. I remember I was having a nap. I was exhausted and somebody came and woke me up for a photo.
It's just so beautiful because of all the value you're giving online. You're giving literally free coaching techniques. Everybody who's listening and into CrossFit and weightlifting, you can find her on Instagram. She has more than 200,000 followers, probably 300,000 by now. And
I don't know. I'm just doing me. I'm just trying to help as many people to improve the way they move as possible. That's what I enjoy doing. I mean, ultimately, I've got a family to support, so I, do charge for more personalized services. But at the end of the day, I want to see people enjoy the sport that I've enjoyed and had a career out of, and to do so safely as well. That's my aim.
Absolutely. That's your big thing, is all about safety. But when you stepped onto the platform, the entire room was holding their breath. People came out of the warm-up area just to watch you. It was literally neck to neck with Christy Brewer.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so close, and you did it. You broke a world record right in front of our eyes.
It was a pretty special moment. I've had many highs in my career, and for me, going to the World Masters was, I'm not going to say I was playing because I don't want to underplay it at all. It was a challenge. It was a challenge to say, can I get back to some kind of shape? And I remember when I made the decision to do it. And I said publicly, you know, what's the goal? World records. Let's just clarify, that is for my age and weight category.
Yes.
So I made it public. I wasn't going to mess around with it, but I put myself under a lot of pressure because I was going head to head with Christy, who was in good shape. She was borderlining a US national senior team. There's me, who hasn't trained for the best part of a couple of years.
Yes.
So it was a really good battle.
It was an amazing, exciting battle, and your energy, your focus, you lit up the entire room, and it was so contagious. Everybody could feel it. And I remember thinking, I want a bit of that. I want her confidence, like the confidence that you bring onto the platform was nothing like I have seen.
It's crazy. I know, just to give people an idea of what you're talking about here. So technique, I guess, was my strength. I could move fairly well. And as a result, I knew I could be consistent. I was always a competition performer. So whatever I hit in training, I knew I could do in competition. My problem was in training, I could never conjure up that same atmosphere. So whatever I hit in training, I knew was normally worth about 5 kilos more in comp. So what I did throughout my entire career, and what you witnessed, was me starting on world records. And to put it in context, they were weights that I hadn't achieved in training. I think I hit the snatch once in training, or maybe half a kilo below. So I was starting literally on world records, the most I'd hit in training and the most I'd lifted for however many years. So
that is amazing.
But that pressure is what I thrive on, and I know I thrive on that, and I know that I need that. And when you put yourself under that kind of pressure, you either sink or swim. And I guess it's that self-confidence and that belief that I could do it that carried me. And that's what I think. It's a trained mental state that has put me in good stead to be able to do that throughout most of my career. I always started on the limit. I always pushed the boundaries. And that's where this motto comes from, no limits.
Yeah.
It's very much about not just aiming for a certain weight. You know, you can go beyond it. You can do whatever you want in anything you do, so long as you believe it.
Yes. And you give so many amazing tips. Don't like the sneaky loading, and don't even look on the bar, because when you look in the bar, you're already mentally like setting yourself a limit. Don't put yourself a limit, and test yourself where you go and see where it goes. And one of the most powerful lessons I also learned from you is the idea that you must convince your mind before you convince your muscles.
100%. If you don't believe it, don't bother attempting it.
And I've lived that. I'm like, whenever I thought, oh, God, how am I going to lift this? There's no way. I just couldn't. I already checked out before I could put my hands on the bar.
And at that point, if I were coaching you, I'd say, stop, don't, just walk away, done. You're beaten. You've beaten yourself before you even try it.
Yeah.
You've got to have that inner belief, and you cannot go onto a bar and half-heartedly attempt it. You're going to get hurt. If you imagine a gymnast doing a vault, they run down the runway, they hit the springboard, they plant their hands on the vault, and off they go. And if they have any element of doubt, they're going to pull out partway through that and probably land on their head and have some kind of accident. It's the same in lifting. You have to commit. And if you commit, the chances are you might well land it. And the worst that's going to happen, you drop it. Yes. So it's a crazy sport when you can only just get that weight off the floor and you've somehow got to dive underneath. It's a crazy place to take your mind to have that inner belief.
But that doesn't just apply in weightlifting, does it?
That's everything we do.
Here's
one for you. I haven't shared this with you. So I got 3 young children, and Nia, she's 3.5 now. It was about a year ago. So she just turned 2, and we put her on a balance bike, and I said, come on, Nia, you can do this. I can't do it, she said. And she sat on the bike, helmet on, handlebar. I can't do it, Mama, I can't do it. So I crouched down next to her and I said, Nia, everything we do in life is hard until it's easy. How about I help you a little bit? I show you how to do it until you get more confident. Okay, Mama. So off we go. And I'm just steadying her, not doing too much. And she's taking the smallest steps. 10 minutes later, I'm backing up. I'm watching her. Mama, I can do it. And it's having that belief, and it's training that mind young to accept that everything we do is going to be tough. The first time all of us tried to walk, we stood up, we fell over. We got on a bike, we fell off. Yeah, we tried to write our name and it was a scribble on the paper. But the more we practice, the better we get. And that is that's all weightlifting is. It's about learning a new skill, practicing until it becomes automatic,
Yeah.
and start, when you build that confidence with the basics, with light weights, you build that foundation, good technique, then you build up, and you build up gradually, and the mind develops, and that belief develops with it.
Yes, and sometimes you have to just believe in ourselves more than anybody else, because there'll be people who don't believe in you, who don't support you in your vision and in your goals. And I had that in my life a lot, where I was told I was too old. Who was I to start weightlifting past 40? When I was a little girl, I was told no. My dad would just not allow me to do sports, and I was so obsessed with martial arts when I was little. I'm like, you know what? This is kind of like my redemption. It's my time. I'm not going to let
Yeah.
anybody tell me no anymore.
And that's the reason I started weightlifting. I went home after my first lesson in school and I said to my mum, I'm going to do weightlifting. And she turned around and said, no, you're not. I said, yes, I am.
Yeah, I remember that, because she thought you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah.
Right.
And, it's just, that was me being stubborn. That was me, I guess, being pig-headed. So there's always been that element of wanting to prove people wrong. But I think it's also about wanting to test how far I could push as well. That's how it developed into.
As Michaela, as I was reflecting and thinking about, what we were going to be talking about and weightlifting and my journey with you, and I found it fascinating. And my journey, what I did the last few years, I studied the science of happiness under a Harvard professor, Dr. Talben Chahar, and weightlifting met every human need for happiness in my life. So we talk about the SPIRE elements, the SPIRE model, and for the whole being, happiness comes in little pieces, little different elements, and you have to pay attention and to all of them. So physical well-being is one of them. My body became stronger, so gave me more confidence. I loved it. I looked more in shape, and my muscles were more defined. Emotional well-being, I became more disciplined, confident, and relational well-being. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun with my training partner and met so many new friends. And then intellectual well-being is also one of them. Learning about the sport, about myself, about my body, and about performance. And spiritual well-being is the last one, stepping into a higher version of you. It gave me so much meaning and purpose when I needed the most. So much meaning in my life, where I felt like I am capable of doing something really hard.
And that's amazing to hear. That's lovely to hear, because
it hit
I
every
coach.
single one. It's not about weightlifting.
Weightlifting is so much more than just lifting weights, isn't it? And as you've described it, if something like this can positively affect you on so many different levels, then perfect. And some people will find that in weightlifting, some people will find it in painting, some people will find it in something. And I think whilst we might be talking weightlifting here, what we're talking about actually applies to so many different aspects.
It can be anything, whatever your jam is, any kind of sport or social activity. It's not just about activity. It's not just about the painting, like you said. It is about the people that you meet along the way, what you learn about yourself, how it makes you feel. We all are like after this feeling, right? We want to feel great. We want to just expand our horizon and widen our circle. So it really hit every one of my needs. That's why it's a bit so addictive, right? That's why CrossFitters just have a FOMO when they just skip one day.
Yeah, it is. Training can become addictive. I'm in the position right now where, I haven't lifted a weight since the World Champs in 2022. And then I set up my garage here about a year ago and was doing some bits and pieces. Then we had an extension built. I've literally this week just got the garage back now so I can train. And I've done more sessions this year than I did in the whole of last year.
Wow.
Already. So no, I feel like I'm kind of getting that bug again. But you know what? It's so important. And again, on all levels, that we have some kind of goal. We have some kind of vision, because without that goal and that vision, what are we doing? And I lost that after the World Champs. I found myself coasting again. I found myself without a focus, without a vision. And it's only now that I'm entering Turf Games in a few weeks' time. And yeah, it's just nice to challenge myself again in different ways and be surrounded by other people who are also supportive.
Yes, your camps are world class. I really, really highly recommend to anybody out there that wants to improve or just be around like-minded people lifting weights and working on your technique and strategies. And you have this beautiful camp that you built, Michaela, and you bring people together. They come together as strangers and they leave as friends.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm really humbled by the extent that people go to come on my camps. Like, you came from the US
A couple times. I love it.
People from all over the world, and that is just really touching to know that I'm able to help that many people from all different walks of life. And as you're right in saying, we leave as a family.
Yes, and there's also another side of you being a coach. I absolutely totally admire you as a parent. For you, family always came first. Always comes first. Your time with the kids, you're prioritizing the kids, spending time with them, because that's something you kind of missed when you were little. Really blew my mind because I've seen it firsthand. You hosted me in your house, Michaela. I remember you picking me up from the airport. Guys, this is the kind of care that you're going to get when you're there. It's very personal. You're going to be in good hands and well taken care of. I really, really appreciated that.
No, it's been, it's tricky. It's tricky getting that balance when you have a family. I've got twin boys that are, well, now they've coming on 6, Nia, who's only 3. I think growing up, I saw the damage that can be done when parents are not there. And that led to my family being broken up when I was younger. And when we decided that we wanted to go down the family route, for me, it was, okay, that comes first. So yes, I do work some weekends, but I've stopped coaching in the evenings. I rarely do evening sessions. Why? Because I want to be here for dinner time. I want to be here for bedtime. I want to be here for all the arguments. I want to be here for the fun and the craziness. And that to me is more important than anything. If I never coach again, and if I never do anything to do with weightlifting again, that's fine, because the family have to come first. I feel like now that it's nice, I've got a nice little balance, and the little ones are expressing a bit of an interest. I'm not letting them lift anything. I just want them to learn body weight management and about what exercise is, and what pushing your body is, and what challenging yourself is. I'm not fussed whether they ever lift, or I just want them to do what they want to do.
Yes.
And be themselves.
They're just experimenting. Oh boy, I already see them as athletes growing up. They have an amazing role model. What would you tell somebody that don't believe in themselves, that they want to do something so bad like me, weightlifting, and I'm too old? It's too late. Is it ever too late to achieve a goal or a dream? Is it ever too late?
I think that becomes an element of reality. I spoke to somebody the other day who wanted to start training with me, and their goal was to win an Olympic gold. And with all due respect, at the age of 32, having never picked up a barbell before, I said, we might need to reassess that goal. There are some goals that, you can be shooting for the stars and never get there. But I think it's about working out what goals are sensible, which challenge you. You've got to have something that challenges you, something that makes you a little bit excited, something that makes you, want to get up in the morning and pursue it. And if anybody who's listening or watching this, just take a moment to reflect on where you're at right now, where you're at in life right now. You might be super happy, in a great job, loving life. Great. You might not be. Wherever you are, think about where you're going. Are you coasting? Are you doing the same thing day in, day out? Are you truly happy in what you're doing? And
yes.
I just challenge everybody listening to this to take a moment and think, where do I want to get to? And if that is the top of a ladder, what does each rung of that ladder look like? How are you going to climb that ladder bit by bit? And you've done it. You've done it in business, in life, in sport. Yeah. You've just, you've started at the bottom of that ladder and you've climbed. Yeah. Well, that's all I've done. And I started out as a nobody with no understanding, no skill set to do with this. All I've done is practice and dedicate time. So I think the lesson here is that you can do anything. And if you have that little gremlin in your head that says, no, you can't do it, you're not good enough, you don't deserve it, you have to recognize that little gremlin and go, oh, thanks for your input, but do you know what? I'm not going to listen to you today.
Yes.
On it.
It's just
quiet.
a thought.
Go away.
It's a thought. You don't have to act on that thought.
And you have the control. Yeah. You have the ability to control whether you listen to that voice or whether you shut it down. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying, okay, accept it. It's there. But right now, actually, I am good enough. I'm going to sit up and I'm going to go, okay, what is the first positive thing that I could do? And first of all, it's about recognizing it. And if you can start to recognize the negative voice, you can start to shut it down and replace it with something more positive. So I think everybody who's listening to this, just be aware of what that voice in your head is saying to you, and see if you can reframe it. And when it comes to coaching, you've seen me when I'm coaching, you might do something wrong, but I don't want you shaking your head and getting frustrated with it. I don't want you going, I kept pulling with my arms.
Yeah.
Turn that negative into a positive, which is, right, wasn't quite right. Okay, accept it. It's done. I can't change it. Move on. Right, now I need to focus on and make that focus a positive. So relax my arms rather than I didn't pull with my arm. I pulled with my arms. So rather than thinking about the negative that's happened, try and focus on what the positive solution is. Because when we change our mindset and think in the positive, it's crazy what the results are. And another analogy, if I have my one of my little ones and I say, right, there we go, there's a hot cup of tea. Go and take it into mummy. Don't spill it. So he's going to stand up.
Yes, I remember that example.
Yeah, don't spill it. Don't spill it. You know what he's going to do?
Yes, he's focusing on the spilling. Yes.
Same cup of tea, same child. Take that into mummy. Keep it in the cup.
Energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows, is my mentor, Tony Robbins, always says.
And it's the same outcome. I want the same desired outcome, but just a different way of phrasing it, from a negative to a positive. And it's that positive that often gets the results. Something as simple as that.
It's something as simple as that. And I love your question in your book. When was the last time you did something that made you nervous? Kind of like, I love when we are just kind of pushing our limits a bit. Like every day, just do a bit that doesn't feel comfortable, but if you did that one thing, it would just move you forward in your goal. You
should do something every day that scares you, every day that makes you feel uncomfortable. Literally every single day. I mean, today, what did I do today? What are we now? We're just gone midday here in the UK recording this. This morning, I went to a gym where I don't know everybody there. I haven't been into a public gym to train myself ever, like for many years. I go in, since I've retired from lifting, so what's that, when did I retire? I don't even know, 14. I haven't put myself in that position. But today I went in there were people there that I didn't know. I was doing exercises I was totally unfamiliar with and that I wasn't particularly good at, but I had a go.
Yes.
And sometimes we just got to step out of that comfort zone and do something different.
It doesn't feel good. It sucks. For me, that's making phone calls. That's just making phone calls just to, for people to service it.
Yeah, and we all have that awkward phone.
I don't like that. I
know that awkward job that you've got to do, and you got it on your to-do list, and you just put it off.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've got a new mindset now on this. When you've got something like that to do, just get it done. Make that the first, no excuse. Get that horrible challenge, that horrible task done. If it's a difficult phone call to have or whatever, just get it done, and then it's done.
Yes, I know.
Dwelling and stressing.
It's a muscle I haven't built yet, and I'm working on it. Yeah, it's those little things that really, like you say, that's how you work on your resilience muscle. And it does not come from doing easy things. It does not.
Definitely.
Yes. So thank you so much, Michaela.
No, it's been my absolute pleasure.
I appreciate you for all your contributions in my life. And wow, what an amazing way what a gift you gave me to express my gratitude to you in this way. For helping me accomplish my goal and my dream, for taking such good care of us whenever we were there to train with you. So I'm really, really blown away by your book. Everybody should get this book, Beyond Barbell. It's just mindset.
Easy to find as well. Just go onto Amazon, type in my name, Michaela Breeze.
And if people want to train with you, how do they find you? Where do they find you? When is your next camp? Tell me a bit more.
So first up, follow me on Instagram, Michaela Breeze. That's MICHAELA Breeze, like the wind, BREEZE. You can follow along, get loads of free tips and what have you. Drop me a DM. I pick up the DMs. I do reply. If I haven't replied within 24 hours, nudge me. Don't be afraid to reach out. I'm a human being. I do like to have that personal touch. So don't be afraid to get in touch. My link in my Instagram bio will take you to my website, and there'll be a link in there for how you can get your hands on that book as well. Beyond the Barbell, that book. Again, you type my name, or if you can't spell my name, just type Beyond the Barbell into Amazon, and you should find it. In terms of my training camps, all of that is linked as well in my Instagram bio. But if you don't use Instagram, just go onto my website, contact.
Don't worry.
So my website, powerposition.co.uk, and you can find all of the services that I offer there. So if you're interested in taking your lifting to the next level, come and join me in the UK on a Team Breeze training camp, normally Friday to Sunday. But if you don't want to travel, that's fine. There's lots of options to work online remotely via Zoom as well.
I've done that too. I've been there. I've done the virtual. The virtual is as good as the live camp because you see everything. You see everything. Like the way you position us, you just call us out. And I love that about you. For you, it's always all about, toughness, but also safety. So it was not about load, load, load. It was just, no, we're not going to load until you get it right first. And then we're going to take a notch up. So thank you.
Yeah, no, I want you staying safe. I want you staying injury free so you can enjoy it long term.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. And I really, really look forward to the next one. I hope I get to see you again. Let me know when you're back in the US.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be coming back. I'll be coming back at some point. So watch this space and I look forward to reconnecting in person.
And definitely let me know when you're competing the next time because I'd love to watch that one too. Do you have any
Yeah, about that. Or is this now you challenging me to step out my comfort zone?
I don't know. Are you planning anything like that in the future?
I'm quite enjoying a bit of this, not CrossFit. Let me make that very clear. I'm enjoying some variation in my training, and I've been invited to join a local team for turf games, which is a multi-sport event.
Nice.
So I'm quite enjoying bouncing off other people. I'm being held accountable as well. I don't want to be the weakest link in the team, so that pressure is kind of forcing me to do something. And right now, for me, it's about being healthy long term, staying fit, active, strong, so that I can still beat the little ones and in different sports and different activities.
Yes.
Will I compete again on a barbell? Who knows? We'll see. At the moment, I'm just enjoying finding a new balance.
Whenever you feel that itch, we will know and we will find out. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you so much. I wish you an amazing rest of your day and much love to you and your family.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.